Hey everybody, this is Josh with the US Coins Guide, and today I'm talking about silver nickels. Two things about them. A, how do you tell apart a silver nickel from a regular nickel without the use of a scale or magnifying glass? And B, how much are silver nickels actually worth? Well, I'll give you a hint. They're worth a whole lot more than face value. So what are silver nickels actually worth, and how do you tell apart a regular nickel versus a silver nickel? Stay tuned.
So we have here 4 nickels. One is a 1946 nickel, you have a 1940 nickel, 1944 nickel, and 1943 nickel. They're all from the same period, roughly, 1940s. They might appear basically similar in terms of color and even the wear, kind of more or less the same. We're in the same kind of mid-range, low to mid-range grade here, but these are very different coins. And I'm going to tell you exactly how they're different and why they're different in a minute. First things first, so let's talk about nickels and what they're made from. Historically, a United States nickel or 5-cent coin is made from 75% copper and 25% nickel. So that's exactly right, folks. The alloy for a generally traditional 5-cent coin in the US is actually mostly copper, not nickel. But the name nickel is stuck for decades now. It's basically used to describe a 5-cent coin. It's a colloquial term, of course, because a nickel really is not mostly nickel, it's copper. But that's the way things roll sometimes when it comes to idioms in the United States lingo and English. And that's okay, because I think most of us who are watching this video in the United States or those who are attuned to American numismatics know what I mean when I'm talking about a nickel. In 1942, World War II was raging. The U.S. was involved in the war, in the international conflict involving so many countries around the world. And part of the war effort, if you will, was to ration materials that were important for fighting in the war. And one of those very important metals would be nickel, which is very durable and was used in so many different kinds of artillery. And therefore, on October 8th, 1942, the U.S. Mint, with congressional approval, began striking 5-cent coins from a 35% silver composition. Now, the other part of that composition was 56% copper and 9% manganese. And in late 1942, 1943, 1944, 1945, the U.S. Mint struck Jefferson nickels, so to speak, out of the 35% silver alloy. Now, how do you tell apart a silver nickel from a regular nickel? Here's the problem. Both silver nickels and regular nickels weigh 5 grams, more or less. That's the spec weight, those 5 grams. So you really can't use a scale to tell the two coins apart. And really, you don't even need a coin loop or magnifying glass to tell apart the differences from a silver versus regular nickel. I mean, some of you might need a magnifying glass, but most folks with generally normal vision, so to speak, or typical vision will not need a magnifying glass. So, how do you tell the two coins apart? How do you tell apart a silver nickel from a regular nickel? Let's go ahead and flip these nickels from their head side or obverse to reverse or tail side. And let's see if you catch the differences between these two types of coins. And before I talk about it, let me know in the comments below if you've already spotted or know the difference between the two kinds of coins. If you don't know, don't worry, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to tell you right now. Take a look at these two coins. We see here Monticello, which was Thomas Jefferson's Virginia home, his private residence. By the way, I can tell you that my wife and I have visited Monticello on multiple occasions. It is well worth the trip. It's a beautiful grounds, the whole property. I have to say, I waited for years to get a picture of myself holding a Jefferson nickel with the Monticello side facing the camera in front of the actual Monticello. And it's a selfie that I highly prize, and I guarantee, I can't guarantee you, but I can almost assure you, if you and yours visit Monticello in Virginia, you're gonna, I think, really enjoy the experience. So do check out Monticello, this building right here in Virginia. If you look above the dome of Monticello on these two coins, something probably stands out. There's a big like a mint letter stamp or mint mark. And in this case, on both these coins, you see a P for Philadelphia, or the Philadelphia Mint. You'll also find potentially a D, as in dog, for the Denver Mint, or an S, as in Sammy, for the San Francisco Mint. So you'll find either a P, a D, or an S above the Dome of Monticello on all 1942, 1943, 1944, and 1945 silver war nickels. Whereas you will not find any mint mark at all above the Dome of Monticello on regular nickels. So that, folks, is the key difference. War nickels contain a big mint mark above the Dome of Monticello, and regular nickels do not contain the mint mark above the Dome of Monticello. That's a very easy way to tell the two coins apart. And you can find, believe it or not, you can find silver war nickels in circulation to this day. As a matter of fact, I actually found this one right here in pocket change from a Johnny Rockets fast food restaurant many years ago, and that's when I found this one right here. And then this one I found looking through rolls of Jefferson nickels. And we have here on US Coins Guide all kinds of videos that talk about what valuable nickels and other coins to look for while looking through rolls. So please check those videos out. You'll probably be inspired, I hope anyway, to look through coins, rolls of coins yourself, and look for coins like these right here, these valuable silver nickels. And speaking of value, what's a silver nickel worth? Here's the phrase you may not want to hear. It depends. Now, I know you're going, oh, that's a cop-out, Josh. You're not giving me the value of a nickel, a silver nickel. What's it really worth? I can't tell you, because the problem is silver nickel values fluctuate based on the silver price. Right now, the price of an ounce of silver is over $90 an ounce, believe it or not. So we're talking about each of these two coins being worth about $5 a pop just in silver value. A couple years ago, when silver was maybe closer to $20 an ounce, these were worth closer to $2 a piece, or $1.50, or somewhere in there, based on, you know, what coin dealer you sold the coins to, and what they were paying for silver, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to find out what your silver nickel is worth, you've got to go check out the current silver price. Now, we talk about silver prices here on the US Coins Guide channel, as well as on the USCoinsGuide.com website, where we have all kinds of articles to talk about silver values and war nickels and all things that you're going to want to know about when looking for valuable silver nickels. So I hope that this has answered your questions for you as to what a silver nickel is worth, or at least how to find the value of a silver nickel, A, and B, how to tell these two coins apart, the silver from the regular nickels. As you see, it's really easy to tell these two coins apart once you know what to look for. And I wish you all the best when looking for silver nickels in circulation, or in rolls or bags of coins, or what have you. So I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching this video. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends and loved ones. Subscribe to the US Coins Guide channel. And most of all, happy collecting.